absolutely. Fittingly enough, RuPaul is playing in the background, and he has this great saying that if you can't love yourself, how are you going to love anybody else? And I think the same is true of empowering other people. You need to have faith in yourself and your own abilities. You need to be able to role model what that empowerment and being empowered looks like, especially for students.
I absolutely think we should empower ourselves. It's the core to how we learn to give to others.
Absolutely. The more that you are happy and fulfilled and healthy, then the better that you can be for anybody else. So it's an absolute first step to empower self before you can empower others.
I think you need to have a great confidence in you. So if I say about myself, I should have a great confidence in me as a teacher, as a person. And I know when I teach my students, that will show in many ways.
I do believe that it's good to be empowered because you need to know the future. I think empowering, like being empowered is a good thing because you can help other people experience different things.
Yeah, I think so. I think when you're empowered, you have the ability to make your own choices. You have the ability to feel good about yourself.
I think the issue of empowerment is very important for instructors and for teachers who work with students closely, because essentially if we feel that this is going to reflect on our students, for them to have the power to make decisions and choices that are beneficial to their own, we have to be citizens ourselves in kind of understanding these structures and also implementing knowledge in a way that students can find conducive to their own lives and to their own scenario.
Yeah, and yes. I think for me in the position that I have, which is chairing the department, there isn't a way for me to do my job without having some sense of confidence or sense of self. I think for me, empowerment is a conversation about having enough self-confidence to do the job that you have in front of you, and to also think and strategize ahead for what's coming down the road.
I think it's very important to be empowered, because if you have reliance in yourself to be like powered up, you can do things that you don't think that you could do. If you feel empowered, you can go beyond your own expectations and a lot of other people's expectations as well.
I do, and I think it's very important to empower others, because I know from my personal experience, whenever I make others happy, I feel more happy myself. And so helping others be more likely to succeed always makes me feel like I can succeed myself.
I think it's extremely important to be empowered if you're going to have be able to help others. Okay, you have to be able to set an example for others, and therefore you start with yourself first, you know. And I believe that in order to start with myself, I kind of have to live by the golden rule. You know, do unto others as you would do unto yourself. And this way, by setting an example and treating others the way that I wish to be treated.
It is definitely important to be empowered. Simply because when you're empowered, you're motivated to go that extra mile. Because if you have nothing to look forward to, then why are we here?
I think it's extremely, as a former teacher, I think it's extremely important to empower yourself, because you've got to have confidence in what you're teaching children, and they're going to take from that confidence from you, especially when you build your trust with them. They're going to really be empowered by your empowerment. They're going to see that you're in charge, you know what you're doing, they're going to feel comfortable with you, and they're going to trust what information you're going to give them. So if you're standing up there and you're doing as empowered as you feel with being a teacher and being involved and surrounded by other empowered teachers, you're going to build that empowerment into your students as well.
Because if you don't empower yourself and fill yourself up with energy, then what energy do you have to give to others?
If you are not empowered and you do not have the self-confidence, there's no way you can empower others. It's very important to have self-confidence before you can give confidence to other people.
Absolutely. It's important because you first have to empower yourself before you can empower others. And in the field of education, the best way to learn is to feel empowered, not to feel intimidated by the work. Otherwise, great learning can't prosper in that environment.
Oh yes. We have to be empowered to be able to actualize our dreams. And so if we don't have a sense of confidence and who we are and direction, then those things that we hold dear to us, those ideals and hopes for our own personal life as well as our professional life may or may not happen. So if you feel empowered, then that gives you a direction and it gives you possibilities.